Brian is ready, right, club audience? Are you ready?
Yeah!
Sonia-Wallace, stand! In 3, 2, 1, begin.
Well, some nights I wish that this all would end, 'cause I could use some friends for a change. And some nights I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win, but I still wake up, I still see the dusk. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
Yeah!
Some Nights, by a defunct band named simply Fun, is written in the key of C major at a tempo of 108 beats per minute. Snare drums snap a sweeping orchestral portrait of social isolation and the breakdown of purpose. What can it mean to stand for something when you're always aware of the possibility that you may be wrong? That the thing you stood for may not be what you thought it was at the time. That you may be a different person than who you were when you thought it. Some Nights was released on June 4th of 2012, 6 months before Obama won his second term, a month after he changed his mind about gay marriage. The Tea Party was reshaping what it meant to be Republican, and without any outward signs of irony, the Young Republicans' National Convention chose Some Nights as their anthem for that year. The band Fun broke up in 2015 to pursue individual projects. It was too tough, the lead singer in interviews said, to collaborate anymore. There were too many different voices in the room. Obama was in his last year of office. Hamilton was on Broadway. Quote, "What are you waiting for? What do you stall for? We won the war. What was it all for?" Hamilton to the more pragmatic Aaron Burr. "If you stand for nothing, Burr, what will you fall for?" It was a different world. Seemed like the time for nuance had passed. From 2008 to 2015, those were the years the band Fun was playing. My life was filled with decisions and revisions. I moved to the UK, disenchanted with the American dream as only an angsty teenager can be. Changed my mind after graduation and moved back. I worked in nonprofits. I wanted to help people, but I realized that time I spent raising money for other people to build their dreams, I could build my own, so I left. After a pretty homophobic adolescence, kind of realized that I liked men, started to fall in love. I ended 2 good long-term relationships, said goodbye to 2 good futures because they didn't feel right for who either one of us was becoming.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I wish I could spout brimstone and tell you that taking a stand is what Martin Luther King would do, and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, because it is. But I can only speak to you from my own experience. My own experience is messy, full of second guesses and sideways steps. Of all the stands I take, the person I need to stand up to the most often is myself.
Dang.
I am still discovering what that looks like today. In an age of social media, there's greater pressure than ever to take a stand on everything, from the latest summer blockbuster to 200-page obscure legislation. Don't pretend like you read that shit. What's more, these casual stands are no longer barroom conversations that exist for a night and dissipate like the fog the morning after. They are written forever on the wall of history, or, as we refer to it these days, Facebook. But my friend Gray asked me a question the other day that I keep thinking about. Gray's trans and uses they-them pronouns, and they asked me by way of a greeting, what pronouns are you using today? Never heard it asked that way before. Normally I'd answer he, him, without a flicker of doubt. But the word today caught me off guard. It created a space of permission. The incredible freedom that comes when we remember that all of this is temporary. That today I could be they, them, or she, her, even if I was something else yesterday, even if I'll be something else tomorrow. It occurred to me, as it never has before, how this allowance for change is a way to build solidarity. They say changing your mind is the best way to make sure you still have one. By allowing for the inevitable human changing of minds, not calling out but calling in, it becomes easier to stand because we are not trapped in this false narrative that to stand, we must stand alone. I'm in a place of transition in my life right now, figuring out what I want to do. There's a lot of uncertainty in that. Keep asking myself, what do I stand for? I want you all to join me in that question tonight. What do I stand for? Not forever and always, but today. I don't think I'm going to find an easy answer. I have to stop myself each day from going on autopilot, to remember that this question is one that exists actively, that to stand is a verb, a living thing, a decision we make every day, or someone will make it for us. I have no answers for you tonight, just an invitation to keep asking this question together, to rejoice in the uncertainty and reversals, to be unafraid of proclaiming our stands loudly and sharing where we were wrong just as loud, to allow the I to change, to allow the for to change. Then, and only then, will the stand emerge.